Welcome to On Second Thought. I'm John Price, and I'm here with our pastor, Jay Hackett, where every week we take a deeper dive into life at Peachtree Corners Baptist Church. Whether we're talking about the latest sermon, upcoming events, or just whatever's on Jay's mind, this is your insider look at our church, our staff, and what makes PCBC your church on the corner. So join our conversation as we help you find community, purpose, and growth. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to episode 42 of On Second Thought. We're back after a week off, and I don't even remember why. Why did we take a...
2 weeks ago was a week off, wasn't it?
Maybe. Did we do it last week?
We did last week.
Okay. Yeah. It's just been a weird, sorry.
Having
Too
two
much
Sundays off, I think, has thrown us.
Yeah. So it was good to get back to church this week. We had to really fit a lot of stuff into the service that had been slated for, to spread out nicely in 3 weeks worth. But we kind of had to go around with, we have to, the week before we were supposed to celebrate your 20th. And there was something else we were supposed to do, recognition of new members.
Yes.
So we fit all of that in and the Grace Marriage video and stuff. But we'll talk about all that.
Yeah, we had
lots of stuff. But let's first talk about your 20th anniversary.
Yeah, that was a shock. I mean, I didn't see anything about that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I didn't know anything about it. And so Jacob finished his third song Sunday, before the service started. Let's go back there. Todd goes, "Oh, by the way, John's doing the welcome. You're not."
Right.
And I went, "Okay."
Yeah,
and he goes, "We're going to mention the visitor, or not the visitor, new members.
New members, right.
Walk through everything." And
25 new members.
25.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I love seeing that, and just love how God's continuing to add to that number, and just seeing some great families that are getting connected, and some others that are on the verge.
Right.
And so I think that's really cool. And so Jacob did his songs. And as he was saying amen, I'm getting ready to walk up, and Wallace Jones looks at me, and he puts his hand on my chest, and he goes, "Sit down." And I went.
He puts his finger on your lip.
Yes. Yeah, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Sit down." And then Todd shows up on the video and says, "Jay, stay where you are."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, gosh, here we go."
Now, originally, you were going to be on stage, and he said that. But I was like, let's let him stay seated.
Wow, that was good.
That would have thrown you off your game.
I was shocked. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything. And so it was awesome. Thank you to everyone for not only being part of the video, but also for just the kind words that you gave to my wife and I on Sunday. And, 20 years, I know it's a lot, but it's just been awesome to be a part of this church. And so that was really special. And then it was hard to preach. it was a little bit of this, where was I? How do you get your mind connected back?
Because I imagine, like, in those first few songs, you're thinking about your message.
Oh, absolutely.
How am I starting this? Not that you weren't prepared, but you just want to be in that headspace.
Yeah, and sometimes that changes.
Yeah.
Sometimes my wife says I don't have the ability to read the room at home, but at church I've gotten really good at just kind of sensing, I can kind of feel where to go with this morning. Does it need to be more upbeat? Does it need to, if we're finishing a song and we're in this moment, how do I stay somber a little bit? Just some of those. And I was thinking through some of those things, and then, it kind of took me back when Wallace kind of put his hand on me. He's like, "Just sit down." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I was also thinking, man, I got to stretch this sermon, because when I got the 3 songs out of the way, I'm looking at the time going, dude, it's 9:45.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're sitting there going, you don't want to get people out too early,
Right.
Then they start getting used to that. And I'm like, okay, all right, what can I add?
I don't have that problem.
But then that video played, and it was awesome. And then
Todd did a great job.
Todd did an excellent job of putting that together. It's, we've got to get better at giving him more time, I think, with certain things, because he's so good at what he does. Right. We kind of come to him last minute and go, "Hey, by the way, you got an hour, fix this or make this happen,"
And people don't realize how much time editing takes, let alone however many people, if that was 15, 20. I don't know how many. Todd, do you know approximately how many people? 23 or 24
people.
To edit that many people, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
To get it whittled down.
Yeah.
And honestly, when he sent the file for preview and it was like 7 minutes and something, I was like, that might be, but it did not drag. It didn't fit. It was fantastic. It was great.
It
So
was awesome.
Yeah. I had him edit a version where I said nice things and then a version where I'm not in it. Just to, because every once in a while you get a little snippy at me and I'm like, I don't want anything out there that's me saying nice things.
We are together a lot. Right. And like any good relationship where you had a lot of time together, then, we see the good, the bad, the ugly, you see it all. But yeah.
Too much of a good
thing. With your forward-facing public persona,
right,
you're always very kind to me.
Yes,
and I appreciate that.
I got to keep up that facade image. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I did not see the whole, saw most of the video, but I had to leave the service after the welcome.
Yeah, you did.
And then I watched the sermon streaming on my phone while Brian Westbrook, who's my kitchen guy, and his wife Tracy and I prepped cookies.
Made cookies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we did that during the service so they would be still warm after the service. It would be because originally Lindsay had gotten cupcakes, great cupcakes, but that Sunday got canceled.
Are those the cupcakes we used Wednesday night?
Yes. Yeah. So she's like, what do we do? And I was like, well, look, we'll serve those on Wednesday. And we got some cookies we can throw in. And so that worked out nicely.
Cookies were great. I mean, just the smell.
Yeah.
Walking out of the worship center on Sunday morning, it was like, oh, this is nice. You know?
Todd really enjoyed it. We had to
ate.
Part of his new contract is we have to put a toaster oven up there in his office where he works and have 2 or 3 cookies going.
I had 8 cookies.
Did you?
Is that all right?
Should have had 20.
I should have had 20.
Celebrate. I had 3 to celebrate my 3 years.
There you go.
My anniversary is the same day.
The same day.
Nobody mentioned my 3 years compared to your 20. So, and I tried to pack 20 into that 3. Trust me, it feels like it.
Yeah.
But no.
I was going to say you've done more in 3 than I've done in 20, but
no. I ran to the store real quick because I was like, these cookies are going to be good, but they'd be better with icing. So I grabbed some icing real quick.
Yes.
And we squirted those. They were by no means professional grade level, but it had the same amount of sugar that it would have for a professional doing it. And so
there's several designs I did not quite understand what they were, but it tasted
that
delicious.
Was Logan's job. So. Logan started putting stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, that was supposed to be this." Or I was like, "Just put stuff on there and make people wonder." But yeah,
it was so much fun. It's just exciting to have fun days like that.
Yeah.
Periodically where everybody just is in a good mood and enjoyed that, had fun with it.
They were happy to get back. They were happy to celebrate you. And at that table that Lindsay set up, it was not just the cookies, but it was little slips of paper that people could write encouraging stuff to you. And, frankly, there were a lot of people writing those. They were kind of in the way of me getting my cookies out. But no, so a lot of people wanted to let you know how much they appreciate
I've not yet got to read those or see those.
Yeah.
Lindsay is taking them and making them into
a quilt.
Yeah. I'm not sure what she's doing with them yet, but she's extremely creative. So whatever it is going to be awesome, and it'll be a great memory for me.
You should have like a little bowl and pull one out every morning.
Yes.
And just
after
be reminded.
I read the discouraging email, let me grab this and be reminded. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Now we're even.
Yeah.
But hey, it's all right.
Yeah, I know. We continued on with the marriage series. So you preached. That was an excellent message.
Thank you.
Excellent. Talking about covenant, the importance of covenant.
I don't think we talk about it enough.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of it seems like an old fashioned word, an Old Testament word.
Yeah. It's some old T word. And, you're like, I don't know if I really believe in covenant anymore.
Yeah. Or understand what it is.
Or understand even what a covenant really means.
Right.
We understand contract. And so we think, okay, that's what this is. I'm entering into this marriage based off of you meet my needs, I'll meet your needs. As long as we do that, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Rather than that no, the covenant is I'm going to keep up my side of this regardless.
Yeah.
And so I love the fact that as I was studying and looking at it, it really just popped out. Genesis 2, God's going, it's not good for man to be alone. And I'm like, this is pre-fall. This is awesome to think about. God's going, okay, isolation, not good. Wasn't an Adam idea. Adam wasn't sitting there going, God, I'm lonely,
Right.
Bring me somebody. It was God going, I'm going to make for him a helper that's suitable, that's someone to come alongside, and help and grow and strengthen and do things together, this partnership. And understanding that, hey, God did design this. And then from that, looking at the devotion side, we got in the car and Amy goes, well, you upset both sides of the family today, talking about, changing teams and, really this new devotion is to your spouse,
right?
Not to your family. Yeah. And that's probably one of the hardest things for parents a lot of times, and even for those that are getting married.
Man, expectations, that is a conflict. What is it? Sex, money, and family dynamics are the three biggies in conflict with marriage couples. And the expectation, and I can just even say as a parent with kids that are grown and out of the house, they're not married yet, but the expectation of, they'll come back for holidays and that sort of thing. Well, when they have families of their own, that changes and shifts. And, I have to remember that it's changed. Yeah. So no, and how many guys marry someone thinking they're just going to be a replacement for their mom?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, my mom did this or that. It's like, well, I'm not your mom.
Never touched a dish in my life.
Right.
I've never done this in my life. Yeah. I mean, whatever the
good luck
reality is. Yeah.
How's that working out for you?
There's a lot there that you're like, wow, okay. And I think as parents, we're the ones that almost have to lead that charge.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And do everything we can to make it easier for our kids.
Right. We have to model, one, what a healthy relationship looks like, that it's a partnership, that it's not, what even sometimes our culture says it is. We don't get our cues from culture, but from Scripture, and the fact that the creation account has so much in it about relationship and community. Relationship with God, relationship with a spouse, relationship and stewardship of the creation around us, how we're supposed to take care of. But family dynamics, it's all through that creation story, and so it's a great place to look at the start when talking about marriage.
Absolutely, and just as you kind of walk
get
through,
that closer to you,
maybe a touch.
The prop, okay.
I just know, like, my dad, like, coming up now, like on holidays and stuff like that, he always calls and says, hey, here's what we're doing. Love to have you if you're available.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? No pressure involved, but it's just, here's what we're doing. If you guys can make it, we'd love to have you. If not, understand. But, we're going to do this whether you show up or not. You know?
Well, and that's, it, even though our kids don't have families of their own, there's still those expectations that we just have to realize they're in a stage of their life, a developmental stage, where God has designed them to be growing their independence and getting their own lives. And so we can't take that personally. We can't get, bent out of shape, because it's not about us.
Yeah.
If we've done our job to prepare them to be in the world, to be their own individual selves, then there is a part of sacrifice. Parenting is all about sacrifice, but even that extended part of, I can have all these expectations, but that's not always going to be met. Sometimes that's setting myself up for frustration.
Yeah. And then the last thing we kind of talked about Sunday was that shared direction, that alignment. And I really feel like that's where most of us are probably struggling the greatest inside of our marriages.
Right.
We think as long as we're side by side, headed the same direction, that everything's perfect, and God's design for marriage is not two people going in the same direction. It's one person. The two shall become one flesh.
Right.
And the two of us are now becoming one. And I think when we stay like this, we still got an exit ramp. And I think that's kind of what we like in our culture. Don't lose yourself.
Yeah.
Right. In this relationship. How many times have you heard somebody say, oh, she lost herself in that relationship, or he's lost, and it's like, no, you still know who you are, but who you are is now part of someone else as well in this new relationship.
Well, and there's kind of a both and in that, we talked about this earlier, the idea of being unequally yoked, that the two oxen they're two separate animals, but they are tied together.
Correct.
So when one moves in a different direction, it throws them off course. So, and that the yoke is the teaching of a rabbi, and where Jesus said, my yoke is easy, my teaching. Are you following the same principles? And so that is something where we're seeing, it used to be more just the guy is going to find himself, or but now more and more women a lot of times, I didn't get to really have my wild days or whatever, and they're going off, and it's like it's the one, but it's also we're in this together, and very rarely is that relationship a 50-50. Right?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there's times when one is carrying 80% and the other 20%, and vice versa.
That's right.
So this idea of I'm doing my share, you're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're in
that's
seasons.
part of it.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going to pull my extra weight, and we're going to get through this.
Right.
But I think it's where it comes down to, it's you and April sitting down, as you mentioned last time, and just getting aligned. Mm-hmm. Is this still a goal?
Right.
Is this, and you have the ability to change your goals. Yeah. I mean, nothing's set in stone. You sit down and go, hey, I think we need to do this. Yeah. And we're working towards this. And then you go, hey, instead of this, why don't we go here? Mm-hmm. And as long as you're both in agreement, it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's your goal, right? I mean, it's your aspirations.
Yeah.
But being on the same page, I think, is a huge thing of going, this is where we need to be spiritually. Yeah. Right. And so how are we walking in that together? How am I encouraging you in that? How are you encouraging me in that?
Right.
Not chastising, not condemning, but how are we encouraging? How are we loving? How are we helping the other one to grow, to become more like Christ? And then setting those directional things in life of going, hey, this is where I'd love, let's talk this through. Let's look at this, and I think the more you discuss those kind of things, it builds that bond even deeper of these two lives that are coming together. You know, you hear parents say, when kids get out of the house, we don't have anything in common anymore. It's because our life was always focused on them. And it's like, hold on a second. No. This relationship has to be nurtured, has to be loved on. We got to have some goals. Got to be the priority. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So when we got together 2 weeks ago now, we further refined our process, because it used to be that we would each kind of come on our Saturday morning breakfast thing, and we'd each have 3 goals. Mm-hmm. And so we've refined it to where, we still try to think of 3 things, but maybe 2 things are goals and 1 is a rhythm. Mm-hmm. So what are some rhythms that I need to get back into? This is not one set thing that I'm going to accomplish, but what is a pattern that is going to help me in my spiritual life and my, relational, physical, whatever. But then we added another one, which is support. Mm. What would support look like for you? What's something I can do this week where you see that as support in your goals, in our relationship? So before it was, here are 3 things that I'm hoping to accomplish. So it was almost, 2 separate people agreeing and holding each other accountable. Now it's, okay, we recognize we're a couple. And so it's not just about me accomplishing my stuff, but how can I help you accomplish yours through supporting you? And that really helped because, in this season right now, I've been very busy, not had much margin. And so I haven't been taking Sabbath really. Mm-hmm. And so in talking with Molly, my kind of spiritual coach, she's like, do you have Sabbath? I said, no, not really right now. She said, what would that look like? I said, kind of being up in the shop or in my shop at home, just kind of tinkering. And she said, well, that's your homework for the week is take some Sabbath. And
get some
so, my support, I was like, hey, what does support look like? For me is, hey, I would like to be able to just go and have Sabbath up in the shop, whatever. And for her, it was like, okay, you can support me by just be home at 9:00. And when you get home, let's aim towards getting to bed soon. She has to get up early. And so knowing what support looks like for me and for her, we were able to be more sensitive to each other and helping us accomplish. So it was very, very helpful. So that's kind of an added thing that we were like, okay, this is cool. This is going to be better.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, and leading into this week, we're going to be talking about conflict.
Yeah.
And so, how do you walk through some of the conflict that happens? Because, I know that you and April and Amy and I've never had any conflict in our almost 25 years.
I don't think we've had conflict today.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well,
because she had to leave early
when I left this morning, so I think we didn't. Yeah. Conflict happens, and and I think we always look at conflict and go, something's wrong, and it's not. It's normal,
right?
It's like you said earlier. It's you're not always very nice to me. Little things. It's like when you are together with someone, for any length of time, there are just issues that are going to pop up, things that are going to happen. And so instead of us panicking when we hit those things, it's like, all right, hold on a second. Let me take a deep breath. Let me realize this. And sometimes it's after the fact. And when it is, you go back and you apologize. You go, hey, I'm sorry, I was a jerk. And, just let my emotion get the best of me. And, that's not how I feel. And I'm sorry for some of the things that I said. And, as men, we have done that many, many times. It starts with a humble heart and a humility of going, okay, this is.
Yesterday morning, April always gets up early, does her devotion stuff, and I have the best intentions to do so. I happened to get up early yesterday and stumbled down into the room where we kind of sit with our devotions. And she, a lot of times, women security is one of the biggest things. She was thinking about retirement, and she's like, what is your plan when salary goes away and stuff? And she didn't think my murder-suicide idea was as, lighthearted as I intended. So it made for a quiet morning yesterday. Not a peaceful one, but a quiet one. Sometimes we do stupid stuff. I
was not expecting that.
I just, I'm not real chatty, so I just wanted to go, how about this for an idea? But anyways, we're also getting ready, tying into that Grace Marriage. We had the video of Jim's daughter and son-in-law.
Yeah. And that was awesome. I thought it tied in beautifully, to where we're going and how do we get on that same direction? How do we get starting to move in that direction if we haven't, or maybe along the line we've forgotten,
right?
And we've just kind of gotten into our routines, or really better word would be our rut, kind of going, that's what we do.
Yeah.
But how do we get better at some of that stuff? And I think 86 couples have signed up to kick that off with us on March the 1st, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So we're going to meet in the worship center on Sundays, and so immediately after the service and go to about 12:15, and it's going to be just a really encouraging time, and I appreciate what Haley and Jake were saying. It's not counseling, it's coaching.
Right, yeah.
And it's just like, hey, how do we get better, right? I mean, that's the idea. It's not berate you for where you are. It's not beat you, because you hadn't done it right or, something slipped through the cracks. It's just, okay, hold on a second. what's an area we need to work on?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start working on this.
Yeah.
And taking a month to focus on that particular, aspect. And like you said, find a rhythm.
Yeah.
What's that new rhythm? What's that new thing that we're doing?
And I think that's part of the curriculum is each kind of lesson or it focuses on a discipline or a truth about marriage, a tool for marriage, and then a rhythm. And so that's a year. I think there's like 7 years of curriculum, but it's the same recurring. Here are the, dealing with conflict, dealing with finances, dealing with extended family, those kind of things. But then what are some rhythms? And it might be a date night. It might be, intentional time together. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be great.
And a note to all of our husbands out there, Valentine's Day is this for Saturday.
Yeah.
So
they'll have enough time. This will drop on Thursday.
This will drop on Thursday.
Yeah.
You don't shop till Friday night at 8 at the Shell station.
We're letting you beat all the other husbands to the gas station.
To the gas station to get that rose and
you
box
might
of chocolates.
even have time for Amazon. Who knows?
You might.
Who knows?
But some of these gas stations, you get free chocolates sometimes if you fill up. So, there's a
go to Buc-ee's. Go to Buc-ee's. There's all kinds of stuff to get.
No, you'd be out $1,000 at Buc-ee's before you realized it. Yeah.
Right. So, we have jumped back in full swing after the crazy snowpocalypse stuff.
Yep.
Had our Super Bowl Wednesday night.
March,
probably. We had our Super Bowl Wednesday night meal. That was crazy. Wings and
I think you went a little overboard.
Yeah,
if I'm gonna be
I bit
honest
off
with you.
way too much.
Like 22 different appetizers.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things is we make these menus and then we debrief at the end of the night. And the big debrief was, too much. Next time, let's just do. Really, the two big wins were the wings and the wedge salad.
Yeah.
So we could do wings, meatballs, wedge salad, that kind of thing. Just keep it simple. Much less work. Oh, my goodness. This Wednesday is going to be a lot simpler, but it's still going to be a great meal. We're doing burgers and fries.
Burgers and fries.
Yeah, more of those chocolate chip cookies with a little scoop of ice cream, a salad bar. So it's going to be great. And I think maybe the next one is Cajun night.
Okay.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yeah, I'm making chicken and sausage gumbo. We've got a couple different Cajun items that they're gonna enjoy.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. We had to move our volunteer banquet because of one of those. So that's going to be March 1st.
Okay.
All of our folks who volunteer throughout the year, whether it's life group leaders or youth workers, preschool, all of those folks.
Welcome.
We typically do a meal and a training. We're like, look, this doesn't need to be a bait and switch. Let's just have a meal.
Say thank you.
Yeah, just a meal.
Yeah.
Come, we're going to have a great meal, have a good time, and then we'll let you go home for the evening and enjoy your rest of your evening.
Enjoy the rest of the night.
Yeah. And then we've got, wrapping up, we have baptisms this Sunday.
Yeah.
5 baptisms.
5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're going to have to change some things around because it's going to be another packed Sunday. Which those are great.
Yeah, I don't think we have any surprise videos that would.
Well, we'll see.
We have some testimony videos.
We do have our testimony
which
videos.
Sometimes can be surprises.
Which
in
hopefully we get rid of surprises of those
Yeah.
prior to them being shown. But so I'm baptizing 3 people and Logan's baptizing 2.
Cool.
And so that's going to be a whole lot of fun this week. Another great joy to have the movable baptismal is that we can easily rotate that out, and I'll slide out, he'll slide in, and because he's got two students that are getting baptized, which is always encouraging. So man, a lot of great things happening.
Yes, yeah. Well, we have covered a lot, and we want to thank you for being a part of this episode and a part of PCBC. We are looking forward to the weeks ahead, all the stuff that is coming down the pike. But we thank you for all that you do, and we hope that you have a great rest of your day. And God bless. Well, that's it for this episode of On Second Thought. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. If you have a question or thought, drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to find out more about your church on the corner, check us out at pcbchurch.org. We'll be back next week with more, so until then, have a great week and God bless.